Hello everyone. Hi, this is Gapodiye back with a story, and the story's name is Kottavi Raja and His Sleepy Kingdom, written by Yashaswini Sampath Kumar and illustrated by Henu Mehtani. It's a level 3 book, and what's about the story? The story is about a Kottavi Raja who had trouble sleeping only at night. But during the day, when his ministers discussed the complex problems, he would find himself nodding off. So he asked everyone for remedies. Nothing seemed to work until. So, in order to know what happened next, you have to read this story. But because you don't have the book, we are bringing the book to you. It's called Kottavi Raja and His Sleepy Kingdom. So be patient a little, and I will be showing you interesting pictures of the story, and also I'll be reading this book to you. So the story starts with a yawn. So Kottavi Raja was sleepy. His ministers were talking about a complex problem and he was bored. He hadn't slept well last night, or the night before, or the 30 nights before. He tried to concentrate on what they were saying, but these sentences were so garbled. Insofar as the lesson is concerned, the right blah 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 to till the tax. Blue, blue, loo, blue. His head lolled forward, just like this. So Raja Nalan was a good king. That was really his name. But of late, he had a problem staying awake during the day. He yawned in the court all the time, so people had started calling him Kottavi Raja. Do you know what Kottavi means? It's a Tamil word that means yawn. So he called Sujata, his queen basically, one night and gently waking her up. Sujata, how come you are so alert and energetic throughout the day? Because I sleep at night. And she snapped. And so should you, okay? Yes, sleep at night, but how? How to do so? He was always sleepy during the day, sleepiest in the evening, but by night he was alert, jumping and all. Not at all sleepy, but. The next morning in court, Kottavi Raja asked, Prime Minister, what do you do when you are not sleepy at night? I ask Nidra Devi, the goddess of sleep, to bless me, he said. But how? My mother used to say the goddess cannot resist a full stomach. So I asked my cook to serve a rich dinner. Full of warm, sweet things. 2 minutes after eating it, I'm just fast asleep. Kottavi Raja saw the minister's round stomach and believed him. Just like that. Look. So what happened next was, then finance minister did not want to be left out. So he said, I drink warm milk with honey at night. Simple, no fuss, no need to trouble the cook. And I always sleep a full 9 hours. Oh my God, amazing. The court musician did not like all these stories of food. You know why? Because when his stomach was full, he couldn't sing. But he wanted to help. So he said, in our family, my lord, we always invite Nidra Devi with music. A beautiful Nilambari sung with the veena. Aha, bliss. Mera chanda hai tu, mera tara hai tu. आँखों का मेरे प्यारा है तू, चंदा है तू, मेरा सूरज है तू. And the poet said, a gentle stroll in the palace gardens with a soft breeze blowing and the moonlight falling on Parijatam. Wah! The beauty and the poetry of the moment will wash away your worries. Maharaja, Nidra Devi loves a peaceful mind. The court jester added, and if nothing else works, my lord, a good story will always get you asleep. What do you think? So, Many things to try, Raja was thinking. But one of them has to work, no? That evening, the royal cooks were asked to prepare a special meal. Warm rice with ghee, hot sambar, fried potatoes, yam, and khaskhas payasam. And to wash it all down, a cool buttermilk. The king wanted to be sure that he would sleep at night, so he took two helpings of every dish. It was nearly 11 p.m. when he finished. Yet, old habits are hard to break. He wasn't sleepy. He tossed and turned and he became very unhappy with his prime minister, and Nidra Devi was still missing. He decided he simply hadn't eaten enough. Cook! He bellowed. A sleepy cook hurriedly dressed and ran to the king. Get me a large glass of warm milk with honey. Hurry, hurry! Kottavi Raja gulped it down. Ouch! He was so full, he couldn't get up, he couldn't move, and he definitely couldn't lie down and fell asleep. He was tossing and turning. Oh my god. Then he thought, perhaps I should try music, he thought. He sent for the court musicians. They came, turbans askew, with hurriedly tied dhotis. It was past midnight. Play Nilambari for Meena, he said. It was wonderful to listen to the melody in the still night. Kottavi Raja relaxed. What bliss! Wow. 20 minutes later, his eyelids began to droop. And then, twang, thud! The veena player had fallen asleep on his instrument. They began again. But one after the other, the sleepy musicians dropped notes and played the wrong tune. It was cacophony. Nidra Devi heard those tunes and bolted, and the king was wide awake and very annoyed. Look how it looks like. So he remembered his jester's idea and summoned him. Tell me a story. The jester started a long, boring story, hoping that the king would fall asleep. But our Kottavi Raja was not pleased. He got impatient and kept saying, Yes, yes, but how does the story end, no? Nidra Devi did not like the impatience, so she kept away. 1 hour later, a hoarse jester ended the story and went home bleary-eyed. And the king? He was still awake, no? He woke the queen up and insisted on taking a stroll. She got ready grumpily. Just up to the jasmine garden. Okay? After that, I'll come back and sleep. So that's how they were taking a stroll. They walked in the moonshine, heard the drowsy tittering of birds, and went around the large palace garden. The king found himself calming down and thought, aha, now is the time to go back and sleep. As he settled down, there was a dreamy silence all around until he heard a curious rumbling. From his stomach, the music, the story, the breeze, and the walk had made him hungry. The queen took matters into her hands. She ordered a small glass of milk and got a masseuse to press his legs. In a few minutes, Nidra Devi came and blessed the king. The palace finally shut down for the night. Every day, this routine continued. Over time, Kottavi Raja started to sleep earlier, and in 2 weeks, he found that he fell asleep after his second glass of milk. A few weeks after that, he started sleeping just after his walk. A month later, the jester's story put him to sleep, and finally, he managed to sleep right after dinner. Most mornings, he woke up feeling fresh, and he walked with a bounce in his step and smiled at everyone. But what about the cooks, the musicians, the jester, the masseuse, the queen? Oh, they remained on standby through the night. They never knew when the king might wake and ask for them, and they were sleepy, tired, and grumpy all day. So were the people who waited for them. The cook's wife, the musician's son, the jester's brother, the masseuse's father, the queen's maid, the maid's husband, the husband's brother, the brother's friend, and the friend's parents, and the whole city. The king grew worried about his sleepless people. He could not recommend his elaborate remedy to everyone. So he asked his chief priest for some solution. The wise man knew that this was a tough problem, and he said, "Get everyone to assemble in a town hall 15 days from now. They should have a warm bath, finish dinner, and arrive at sunset. I will summon Nidra Devi to bless everyone." So the entire city gathered. They were all relieved that their sleepless nights were going to end finally. The priest began to chant hymns in praise of the goddess. A few minutes into his droning, a new mother, the sleepiest of them all, yawned. Looking at her infant yawned. The baby's father saw this and, yes, yawned. A musician yawned halfway through a tune, and 20 people around him yawned. Then their neighbors yawned, and a mighty wave of yawns swept around the gathering. Look how this looks! Oh my god! So, Nidra Devi couldn't resist the power of so many yawns. She came running to the city and touched everyone with a cooling breeze. And from that night onward, she continued to bless everyone in Kottavi Raja's land every night. Just like that. So, this was the story of Kottavi Raja and his sleepy kingdom. Written by Yashaswini Sampath Kumar and illustrated by Henu Mehtani, and it's a book from Pratham. I hope you liked the story, and we want you to share your story of sleep. Bye-bye.